So what is TTFB and why does it matter? TTFB is not a core web vital metric, but it's still an important web performance metric to look out for because TTFB directly affects your LCP, which is a core web vital metric, and it directly affects the performance of your site. So what is TTFB? TTFB is simply the time it takes between connecting with the server, then sending a request, and beginning to receive the initial part of the response. It is not just sending the request and getting a response back, but the entire life cycle of when the browser needs to make a connection with the server, then send a request, and then get any response back from it. So, and I made a diagram that shows this here. Let me zoom out. So the browser first needs to connect with the server. It needs to set up a connection, which means it needs to do the DNS lookup, the TCP handshake, TLS handshake. And once the connection is set up, only then it can send an HTTP request. And after the HTTP request is sent, the server will start processing the request and it will send back any first byte. When that first byte arrives in this entire life cycle, that will be your TTFB. It's not just sending a request and getting any bytes back from the server, but the entire cycle of connecting with the server and then getting any response back from the server. Any of these steps could be a bottleneck when you're trying to debug TTFB. Usually it's the server processing step, which means your server is taking up a long time to send any data back to the user. So if your TTFB is slow, then the browser is still going to just sit there, wait for any response back from the server, which will delay your FCP and that will delay your LCP. So TTFB is important because it directly affects how quickly users see anything on the screen. So optimizing TTFB is an important web performance metric, even though it's not a core web vital metric. I hope that makes sense. And in the next video, I'm going to share some about how to optimize TTFB. And yep, thanks.